You are in the middle of a run in terms of your production. You had a big game against the Chargers, and I've talked to guys who are pass rushers, a lot of them around the league over the years. Is it possible for a guy who's a pass rusher to get hot like a hitter gets hot in baseball or like a shooter gets hot in basketball?
Oh, for sure. They say, at least in my room, they say they come in bunches. Sacks come in bunches. So everybody has their moment. So when you are in your hot phase, you just got to make sure you're finishing your rushes at the top, making sure you make those tackles when you get them sacks and whatnot.
When you take a look at where you are right now as opposed to where you were when things started for you in camp at the beginning of last year, how much have you grown as a player?
Exponentially. I think it's real cool being able to literally measure with stats, not only, but also just how I feel and how I approach the game. Last year, one of the first things they told me when I got in the building is that pros have a process, and mimicking BG last year, BG did a lot, and that's why he was able to stay in the league for so long. And then people throughout Nolan, how he gets ready, asking questions, AJ Brown, how he gets ready, Saquon, how they get ready, just asking questions. I've been able to develop my process and my plan going into each week. And I think it's real. I think it's helping for sure based on my production and whatnot right now, how I'm playing. But my main goal is to just get better each week. And so I try to find one thing. And if I look back last week and I didn't do it in the game, if I'm able to look back the next week at that film, and if I've done it, that means I've gotten better. So I think I've gotten a lot better. All that to say that.
Brandon Graham comes back, and, at age 37, whether he gets a sack, whether he gets home, whether he doesn't, I know what kind of standing he has in that locker room. How important was it for him to be back and to have him? I know he was around a little bit, but now he's around.
Always around. Um, it's real important. It's real important. I felt not sad that I was only able to spend a season with him when he retired, but it was very unfortunate for me when I was just thinking about how much he was able to talk me through situations or talk me through rushes or um, last year when we lost the game or this year when we lost some games to we still got to approach each week like this. He's been on teams where they've swung it back around. So having just that experience and somebody who's lived it and done it is like invaluable information to just have. Like he's been here, him, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, the big leaders on the team, especially for the front seven. Uh, they just are very vocal and very understanding and want to lead. So having BG come back to that little group is like amazing.
You take a look at this opponent, and its opponent you're going to see a couple of times over the course of 3 weeks. Anytime you get a quarterback who has the ability to run, and this one does,
Yeah.
I'm going to
So
imagine it changes some things. What are you seeing from them on film?
we're seeing a good team. We're seeing a very good team that just maybe hasn't produced how they wanted to produce or aren't in the standing that they wanted to be in, but they're still a very good team. They're able to score. They're coming off of a good game, and their quarterbacks are definitely lethal, both in the air and on the ground. So we just have to play to our strengths. We have to be cognizant of the fact that they're escape artists and can lengthen plays any way they want when you rush, but you can't be afraid of it. You can't rush timidly or anything like that. You still have to run your rushes. Just be cognizant of where they like to escape, what they like to do, and where they like to be to make them uncomfortable and be in those spots.
Is that mental discipline too while you're in the middle of playing the game?
Oh, extremely. Because especially when you have somebody like they have both of their quarterbacks, you get upfield a little bit too much, gone. You bite too fast inside, gone. You got to be disciplined in your rush lanes, and you have to work together as a group. And I think that's part of the reason why the D line is progressively playing better and better each week is because we spend a lot of time with each other and we trust each other to be where we need to be when we need to be there.
Okay, I have done more games than I can count of Ivy League football from back when I was a student and then professionally earlier in my career. We've
Okay.
watched guys who've come out of the Ivy League who've made it to the NFL, but I've seen those games, and I've seen a lot of them. Was there a period of time while you were a defensive back at Cornell that you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I'll be in the league?
No. I know that sounds crazy, but one of the reasons why I did transfer is because I didn't see myself being put in a position to be in the league there. But it wasn't that I felt like I couldn't do it while I was at Cornell. It was just more so of looking at my surroundings, looking at who they sent to the league and the opportunities. Like we had a great safety named Jelani Taylor before I came out, and he all Ivy, very productive, very good, great film, obviously smart. Just to see how, not necessarily how he was treated by Cornell, but how he was treated in terms of getting prepared for the league and the draft process, and not too many scouts coming out there. It's not a place where I wanted to continue because I wanted to at least, burn this bridge if it wasn't gonna go down how I wanted it to go down. I wanted to completely burn this bridge so that there's no looking back later like, dang, maybe if I transferred it would have worked out. But while I was there, I definitely could see myself in the league, just not going from Cornell.
You've always done things kind of your way. You make your decision and you go to that NFL producing factory, Houston Christian,
There you
which
go.
yeah, which by the way, you're the first ever draftee from Houston Christian into
I
the
am.
NFL. So
Child of
now you're
God.
there. Now you're there, and I remember you telling me one of the reasons that you liked the idea of being there was that they were going to give you an opportunity to play the position and do what it is that you wanted to do.
That's very true. When I was in the portal, a lot of other teams that I won't name, but a lot of other teams and schools were looking to have me come in as a special teams guy, which was weird to me because at Cornell, it's not really like a special teams specific guy. It's just like you play special teams and you play defense, but special teams guy or depth in the room type of guy. Pay for my books, but I gotta pay tuition. And I was like, well, nah. If I'm doing this, I'm trying to go all the way. So whoever wants to give me the opportunity to play and believe in me is where I need to be because I know they'll give me the opportunity. They'll provide a chance for me. Even even if the coaching isn't amazing, even if the competition is not amazing, I'm gonna be able to play football and I'm gonna be able to produce. And so when I was talking to the coaching staff at the time, who's all scattered everywhere now, I'm so proud of them. But they were saying we think you can play at the next level, and that was really all they had to say to me. I went on my official visit thinking like, oh, where else would I go? I wasn't going anywhere else. I just wanted to see the school for free for my official visit. But yeah, nah, just the trust that they had and being able to see the hunger and the discipline and the work ethic I had and wanted to put towards achieving my goal and being able to recognize that and then believing in me. That's the reason why I went. I didn't care what position I was playing. I wasn't thrilled when they said I was gonna have to put my hand in the dirt, which I really rarely did, but it ended up working out. So shout out to them.
All right, so to that end, last question. The confetti's coming down in New
Yeah.
Orleans. And I mean, this is almost like a fairy tale in terms of how it ended up. And you got a long road in front of you, and you're playing to it right now. While you were in the middle of that last year and the celebration was beginning, did you think at all back on that journey and how it was that you got there? Was there that moment of reflection either then or after it was done?
Oh, for sure. One thing I do before every game is I call some good friends who were once my teammates and just my friends in general from HCU, and I talked to them. So I did it before the Super Bowl, and they were super excited. And they were like, "Hey, y'all gotta go win!" Da da da. And so that made me definitely think about it. But after the game, I'm talking to my parents. My parents came on the field with me. You did it! Like, oh my gosh. Uh, just reflecting, like you were saying, there was plenty of times when I transferred from Cornell and took a semester off and t was taking however many credits I had to get like. 19 or no, like 20 something credits in order to be eligible. And I was like, maybe I'll just pick up a job and call it a loss. Or when I was door dashing just to make some money to pay my trainer, or I was thinking about all those times and all those odd jobs I was doing just to eat and keep playing football. Like, what if I stopped? I wouldn't be feeling this right now. I wouldn't be in this position. So obviously I thank God and repeatedly, but just the thoughts I had, it's kind of, even thinking about it now, it's kind of crazy still. It really is a fairy tale. It's fake. HCU, Cornell, a school that didn't achieve anything in high school. I moved around a whole bunch, played for a whole bunch of people, but I'm grateful for it all. I wouldn't change anything about the process or the journey.
Maybe we will run into each other again before all is said and done. So
Hope so.
if
Hope you
that's
asking me about the Super Bowl next time
I,
we talk.
I hope I'm talking to you in San Francisco. We'll see.
There you go. I
Take care.
appreciate you.
Be well.